I don't know much about Batman or about his storylines, of which I'm told there are many. The extent of my Batman knowledge starts and finishes with the Nolan trilogy. I absolutely love this trilogy and can say without a doubt that it is very high up on my favourite film series list, beaten only maybe by Harry Potter and Toy Story. With the release of Batman vs Superman drawing ever closer, I thought it would be a good idea to look back at some of the animated feature films. As I was doing so, I came across Batman Bad Blood. Sitting down to watch this, I had absolutely no expectations. I remember watching the occasional episode of the Batman animated series and not thinking much of it, and so wasn't expecting to think much of this either. The story is that Batman disappears, leaving Nightwing to cover for him. He dresses up in Batman's costume to make the villains of Gotham think that Batman is still around. However, it gets a little bit more complicated with the introduction of another hero slash villain. It's a little bit ambiguous. Batwoman. While this is happening in Gotham, Bruce Wayne's son Damian hears about the disappearance of Batman and so returns to Gotham as Robin. They all team up with each other to try and find Batman, and their different views on how it should be done come into conflict with each other. So, saying it out loud, it does make it sound a little bit confusing. It's not at all. The way this film was put together was really well done. The plot flows really nicely from one fight scene to another, instead of lurching from a fight scene into some unnecessary plot back to kicking someone in the face, which it so easily could have done. And the story doesn't really have Bruce Wayne or Batman in it, which is really dangerous because it is a Batman film and some people might feel let down by a lack of him, but the sheer scale of villains and heroes mean there is never a dull moment on screen. Just to list some of the bad guys, we have the Electrocutioner, the Mad Hatter, Talia al Ghul, Firefly, Blockbuster, and loads more, including the main villain Heretic, whose identity I won't ruin just in case you do want to watch this film. There's also a little cameo at the end of the Penguin, along with another character who when I saw I got very excited, but I won't ruin that for you just in case there is a sequel, and again you do want to watch this film. The fight scenes are really well put together, and there's one in particular where Nightwing dressed as Batman and Robin are fighting an entire list of bad guys in Batman's vault. And there are flares and strobes and effects, and it was so cool. Okay, so the bad parts. This film was written a bit how I expected and had some scenes sounding a little bit like a children's TV show, which was weird because this is not a children's film and has some very adult themes. To fully understand what the hell is going on, you do have to have some prior knowledge, which I didn't have. I found myself googling stuff about Batwoman to find out where the hell she came from, and what happened to the other Robin to make room for this Robin. But once I got my head around those couple of things, it was fine and very enjoyable to watch. In terms of Batman vs Superman for a second, I'm not so optimistic. If they can somehow make it as good as a Nolan film, then it will be pretty decent. However, I worry it'll be a bit too much like Man of Steel, and just end up with Batman, Superman and Wonder Woman destroying a city trying to defeat Doomsday. Back to Batman Bad Blood, and this straight to DVD film was a very nice surprise, and an hour and a half I do not regret watching.